St. Ben's 2020 here, WakeUpCall today in 2020 on vacation at Chick-fil-A Cicero. We're here with the boys ice hockey team of CNS, the Northstars. So we have from my left all the way around here, we have Ricky Reilly, as well as Matt Cramer, Josh Matyasik, and head coach Dan Jones, myself, Dan Tortora, here with you inside of Chick-fil-A Cicero. We appreciate the people that have gone to the drive-thru, people that have come in here today. It is, I think, 6 degrees was the high today. And I learned how to use a snowblower today. So Dad came over and said, "Why are you shoveling?" I was kind of hurting a little bit yesterday. So we're here inside of this snow-covered day in Central New York, which ironically, when Chick-fil-A opens here in Central New York in February, almost a year coming up here in a very short amount of time, just a couple of weeks, when they opened on a snowstorm, and it felt very much like this. So that feeling is here with us, and gentlemen, you're wearing your sweatshirts and your jackets and your hats still, so we all look very cold. How you doing today, guys? Ricky, how's life? What's going on?
Doing pretty good, thank you. Trying to stay warm and just enjoying the season.
What can you say about the season so far for CNS Boys Ice Hockey? I mean, Chick-fil-A Cicero is extremely supportive of all CNS athletics. So what can you say about how things have been going and what's been going on with the season so far?
We had a great team coming into the season, and we're very strong up front, very strong in the back. We got great defense, 2 very strong lines, and then we got younger kids who are very good at defense as well. And our first O-line with Matt Cramer, Jake Demblaker, and Holden Shirosi, very strong line. They'll do good this year.
And you are a senior.
Yes.
So what can you say about going through this program and what you've learned over at CNS so far?
Best thing is to always keep your head up. The season's not over until it's over. So if you're having a few bad games, just keep going, and it can turn just like that. So, always work your hardest and get the best out of it, because I still remember 10th grade year just like it was yesterday, and now I'm a senior with a few games left.
Matt Cramer, where are we at here, Matt? Now, tell me, Matt, you are not a senior on the team. You got some more time left. What are you learning from the senior class with this team?
Well, we have a lot of seniors this year, and our senior class is very experienced. I think we have 10 seniors, so there's a lot of boys to look up to out there, and they teach me a lot of new things that I didn't know, and help me become a better player.
What can you say you've learned from the guys that are sitting to your left and your right as part of the senior class? What have they taught you?
Well, I've known both of them for a very long time, even before we started playing hockey together. So they've taught me a lot of things, and they've made me a better player at the end of the day.
Let's go to Ricky first here. What has Ricky taught you? Let's stay with you. Yeah, what's he taught you specifically?
Specifically, he's always been a really good friend to me, and he's always taught me just to keep going no matter what. It might not look like you're gonna things might be down, but you can always bounce back and turn everything around.
And what about Josh Matyasik? What has he taught you?
He's taught me a lot of things. He's taught me that it's not just skill out there.
Yeah.
You can't just go by that. You gotta always work hard and show up and go hard in practice and do your best.
So, Josh, I'm going to come to you now and ask you about this team and what you've taken away from the team so far. You're a senior. It's your last run at this thing. What have you taken away from the season?
I just thought the fact that we just really got to work together as a team, and we're a really solid team this year. And if we work together, we can beat anybody. And I think we know that. And we have a really deep team, and a freshman in net, but he's solid, and he's not very not as bad as people thought. Everybody thinks that he's weak just because he's a freshman, but he's pretty solid, and he keeps us in games. And we just have to keep our heads up and not get too down, and just stay focused on the goal.
You say if this team comes together, what's the disconnect? Do you feel like the team hasn't gotten to that point yet, hasn't had that cohesive moment yet?
Yeah, I think we still got a little ways to go. Sometimes, it just seems that our forwards and D are off a little bit. And
yeah, shout out to Jimmy Sikowski. He is the reason why Chick-fil-A Cicero exists here. which is why I'm still in Central New York, I would say. Go back to what you were saying, Josh. So bringing the team together, why it's taking some time?
Yeah, it's just with every team, it just takes a little while for the chemistry to get up and everybody to be on the same page out there. And I think we're starting really to get there, but struggled a bit our past few games, just a few losses, but we've played good as a team, so the wins are gonna start coming.
All right, we're going to go to Coach here, Coach Dan Jones. Coach, this is your first run at something like this, little round table. So what can you say about why you chose these three gentlemen to be here?
Well, I think it was pretty easy. They're our captains, our leaders on the team, and wouldn't want to be up here with any other guys representing the team like that.
Why are they the captains? What has made each of these gentlemen, Josh, Matt, and Ricky, why them?
Well, starting with Ricky, just his positive outlook, how he brings the team together. He's very vocal, and he's somebody that everybody looks up to and relates to. So that was a pretty good decision there. Matt Cramer's worked hard. Both Matt and Josh have been really good impacts on the ice. They also do everything right, starting in practice and coming through into our games. They're guys that both of them lead by example and also say and do the right things when the time comes. And
I'm hearing the accent. I'm hearing the Canadian in you. So where do you call home? Where's home?
Just outside Toronto, Richmond Hill.
Right outside Toronto. So how far outside?
20 minutes.
20 minutes. So did you grow up a Toronto fan of everything, or?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Big Leafs fan, big Blue Jays, Raptors.
Raptors. It's the only one that I'm concerned with is the Raptors.
Yeah.
Because that's been my team since I came in '95.
Oh,
so,
really?
Yes,
Right.
O'Shea Brissett and I. After the SU games, we talk about the Toronto Raptors.
Yeah. Right.
So, do you like Kawhi Leonard?
I do. I was a little skeptical when they
Okay.
signed him in the summer, but been really happy with how he's come together and his effort that he's put in with the team, and he's a lot more mature than I thought he was. I thought he was going to be a little more of a distraction than anything.
What about DeMar DeRozan? You haven't heard a guy saying forever that he wanted to play for Toronto, wanted to stay in Toronto. Toronto was home a couple of years ago. They bring him up for the free agent opportunity where he could sign a max deal. Toronto goes somewhere else. It was up to him. He said before the date even happened, don't call me, don't talk to me. I'm staying in Toronto. This is where I want to be. I love this place. When Toronto ultimately shipped him to San Antonio, he was hurt. How did you take it as a Raptor fan?
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was an unfortunate situation, but sports, professional sports, it's a business, and things happen. I had nothing bad against the guy. I thought he played his part and did his role, and I respect that he loved the city and loved Toronto, and I respect his efforts, and have no ill will against them.
Fair enough. Well, Toronto hopefully continues their success. Ricky, I'm going to have you start this off. I want you to tell me something about head coach Dan Jones that you've taken away so far this season. Something positive from Coach Jones over here.
Whenever anyone does anything wrong, it's never a screaming moment. It's never he never puts down any of the players, and that's where a lot of successes came in this year, and we appreciate that a lot. And we had open arms to a new coach, and he's fit the role perfectly, and I think we're all getting along very well, and just bringing the team together as best as we can. So it's all working out well.
All right. Josh Matyasik, tell me something about head coach Dan Jones.
Well, one thing that I like about him is just how well prepared he is for games. We have a meeting as soon as we get to the rink, and then we warm up, and then we meet again before the game. And he gives us the rundown of the team that we're playing and the goalie and what he thinks his weak spots are and how we can exploit their team weaknesses as well and just beat this team, and really just lays it all out there for us and lets us know that what we have to do to win, and it's up to us to do it.
So he does his homework. He's ready. He's got you on your toes.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Matt Cramer. What can you tell me about head coach Dan Jones?
Okay, so, him being a new coach, no one really knew anything about him. And I knew who he was, just because he's a coach, so I knew who he was. But no one really knew how everything was going to go, seeing him every day and practicing with him. And he came out the first day, and he's joking around, and it's all he's just getting to know everyone. But, he's still really serious, and he brings that, serious aspect to where, everyone knows, they're here to have fun, but you're still there to win as many games as possible.
All right, Coach, you heard the positive words from your players.
Yeah.
I want you to go down the line here. start with Josh, then to Matt, and then go to Ricky here. Tell me something about these guys. I know we talked a little bit about why they're the captains, but what have you learned from them this season? What have you seen from each of them? And they were very nice to you, so my suggestion was to probably give it back to these guys.
Yeah. Well, they've all taught me, first of all. This is my first year. Like I said, being from Canada, I didn't grow up in the high school sports system here, so there's been a learning curve there for me. I've been coaching travel hockey, so this is my first go at doing the high school hockey and high school sports, and they've all kind of helped me adjust to what to expect facing other teams and their best players, that kind of thing. But personally, I'd say Josh has taught me, again, how to be intense when he needs to be intense, and when the game's on the line, he's really stepped it up, and seeing that intensity from him, kind of rubs off on me as it should, and I try to do the same, rubbing off on the other guys on the team. Matt's done his job, I would say, preparing as hard as he can in practice. He's a great team worker and brings a lot of guys together on the ice, which is something, again, that seeing that, and he's a more lead by example kind of guy, and that lets me know that it's time to work when he's serious and he's got his game face on. I know I need to as well. And then Ricky has just been, I've learned that we can always take positives out of every situation. Always can put work in and better our situation at the same time. And, he's really worked hard and doesn't always get rewarded with the ice time, but he always stays positive, always keeps the guys going, and makes the most of every opportunity that he has.
A lot of positives here as we speak with the CNS Northstars Boys Ice Hockey team here. Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on site, on location, every single month at Chick-fil-A Cicero with CNS Athletics. This is the first time we get to showcase boys ice hockey over with CNS Northstars, and I feel like when I'm done with the show today, I'm not going to say hockey, I'm going to say hockey. I'm getting there. I'm starting to feel it a little bit over here. I'm absorbing the accent. But before we stop the first segment here, Ricky, I want to go to you on this and just what you could say about, like you said, you embraced having a new coach, but what that experience has been like. You're a senior. You got Coach Dan Jones for the first time. What's that atmosphere been like to have a new coach?
It's been a really new journey. I think I started last year, and 10th grade I was a manager, so I really never got the experience of having the coach teaching me about the game. And 11th grade last year is when I first made the team, and I really enjoyed that. So it was kind of like, it didn't hit me that hard because I only had our former coach for a year, but it was definitely, we just had to switch up some things, and nothing negative, all positive. We knew what the challenge was, and we faced it, and we got it all down, and I think it worked out great.
And Matt, what would you say about having a first-year coach here, having Dan come in for you?
It's definitely something different compared to what we had last year. Like, it's just everything's different, and it's
different. Good.
Yeah, it's different. Good.
Okay.
It's just a new experience, and it's something I really like.
And Josh, what would you say about the experience, you being a senior and having a coaching switch?
Well, it's definitely different, playing for a different coach, but it's something that I think most of the players welcome with open arms and just a different change of pace. And I've really enjoyed this year so far, and I'm looking forward to the end of it.
Coach, what's it been like for you? You're not through it yet, but how has this first year been so far?
It's been good. I think with the whole year we've talked about it being a process, and us learning and growing as the year goes on, not just for the players but for myself as well and our coaching staff, and it's definitely been a process. Our first game started out great and kind of came to a halt in a hurry. Still got a point out of it, and it just went to show how much we had to learn and how far we had to go. And I think we've really gone a long way from where we were when we started, both as a team and as a coaching staff, and both on and off the ice. I think our on-ice play has started to come together quite well, and even off the ice, I think guys are starting to realize, what the culture is, what's being expected. Because I think what I'm trying to do here and what we're trying to bring as CNS athletics as a whole is pretty different, to use their word, as a whole from where it was last year. Again, a lot of seniors, so a lot of guys that had played 3-4 years under the same coach. So, switching over to myself, they definitely welcomed me, but definitely there was a lot of things that I think have changed over the last few years.
What are the changes? What are the things that you're trying to bring in your era at CNS that weren't there before?
Communication being one. Definitely trying to make sure that the players know where we're trying to go with as a coaching staff, with what we're looking for, whether it's team strategies on the ice, whether it's expectations off the ice. We've definitely tried to communicate that as well as we can. Right from the start of the year, we had individual meetings with all the players. We've definitely, encouraged guys to talk with us and talk with their captains and make sure that, everything's in play. And whether it's on ice stuff, whether it's off ice stuff, whether it's school, whether it's at home or again, what's going on exactly on the ice. Yeah. We want to make sure that guys are learning and growing and, make sure that they have all the resources, that we can provide to them to get better.
So communication is just key everywhere, no matter what you're doing. We're going to go really quick here before we take a step aside here with Wake Up Call with Dave Tortora on site with CNS Boys Ice Hockey here at Chick-fil-A Cicero. I want to go around, and Coach, I'm going to stay with you for this. Simple question. You said Toronto Maple Leafs are your favorite team. Obviously, it makes sense because of proximity, but are you a happy Maple Leafs fan?
Very happy Maple Leafs fan right now.
Yeah. Okay. All right, you're happy right now. All right, Josh, what about you? Who's your team?
Me personally, I'm a Washington Capitals fan.
Okay, you're a Capitals fan. Why?
I don't really know. Just I've always liked them, and growing up just watching Alex Ovechkin, he's always on the highlight reel, and I don't know. I just always liked that team, and they finally won the cup last year. So
you got to celebrate that a little bit.
Yeah.
Now, how long were you a fan before they won the cup?
Years. I'm not a bandwagon.
No bandwagon. Did you buy some merchandise?
I did.
You did. What'd you get?
I bought a Stanley Cup champions hat and a shirt.
Nice. So you need to wear that all the time. Do you wear that when you practice?
No.
Give you some feel for it? No?
No.
You don't? You can wear it underneath. Are they not allowed to wear other things? Is that the deal?
No, I just can't imagine to be a good under the hockey gear.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know if you ever heard about the hockey smell, but
yeah, I have.
It sticks
Yeah.
to stuff. So
Yeah, I don't think I've ever smelled a locker room that smells like a hockey locker room. It's a very unique and potent smell.
I'm just impressed that you've been in a hockey locker room.
Yes, I have. Yeah, no, I grew up around the Crunch, and I'll talk about who I'm a fan of. If you guys want to answer that question, I'll let that out and why I'm a fan of the team I'm a fan of. Maybe I'll do it after this, but yeah, I've been in the locker room before a few times. All right, Matt, who's your team?
I'm a New York Rangers fan.
Okay. Why?
Being that
Can't be too happy this year.
No, I'm not. They're not very good. But my dad was a Rangers fan. Well, still is a Rangers fan, and so are my grandparents. And so basically, everyone in my family just likes them. And that's pretty much just because we live in New York. So
all right. So not a Sabre and not an Islander.
Definitely not.
Why? Why did the family choose the Rangers? Do you know?
I'm not really sure why they chose them, but of course now I can't like them. They're rivals, same state, so
Yeah.
I gotta go with the Rangers.
You got to be a Ranger. All right, Ricky, who's the team?
I'm a big Blackhawks.
You're Blackhawks. Yeah. All right. Why?
Petty Kane. I just love his play style, and he's very quick and he has great hands. So I've always made sure that my hands were that best part of the game. So watching the drills he does and stuff, and Jonathan Toews, he's a great captain, and we made it to the Winter Classic this year. Didn't have the best outcome, but it was a good game, and soon it'll turn around.
I am a Ducks fan.
Really?
And I am an Anaheim Ducks fan, and yes, it's because of the movies, and yes, it's because of the cartoon as a kid.
Mighty Ducks.
And the Mighty Ducks and the mask. And this is the thing that's crazy. The year that they won in 2007, they had just changed the logo. So nothing had the duck mask anymore, the duck goalie mask. It was all the foot and the maroon and ugly. So all of their championship stuff has the wrong logo, which is killer. But I'm a huge fan of, I mean, I'll always be a fan of the Ducks, but I got to know the team very well in the run that they were making, and they tried to make a couple runs here and there since then, but hasn't been in their favor, and the Sharks are a horrible block sometimes, so I've had to deal with that in recent history, but no, I'm a Duck fan.
Nice.
And with the Ducks. So with that being said, we're going to take a step aside. You're watching us on Facebook Live, facebook.com/LiveNowDT. We're inside of Chick-fil-A Cicero. Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. With these fine gentlemen, we have Ricky Reilly as well as Matt Cramer, Josh Matyasik, head coach Dan Jones, myself, Dan Tortora, here with you inside of Chick-fil-A every single month, celebrating CNS athletics. Thanks to Jim Sikowski and the team here at Chick-fil-A. We will be back, so stay with us on Facebook Live. When we come back, it's rapid fire. I put all of these gentlemen on the hot seat. They have to answer questions that they are not prepared for. But in fairness, it comes back at me in the third part. So follow us back here in just a moment. Thanks for being here.